Yeah, good morning. Happy Independence Day Eve. And happy Wednesday. What are we grilling tomorrow? I need to look at the weather, actually. Well, I know it's going to be hot. Just don't know if it's going to rain. Let's look that up. $91 degrees and partly cloudy in Charleston. It says 91 degrees, but I can guarantee it's going to feel like 110. Oh no, bad news for the car. What is it, totaled? What's up, Zona? Nick? Jeremy? Blazer Dog? Goose? Matt? That's what the body shop said. Wow. Weren't you driving it around? Yeah. That's weird. Well, they'll cut you a check. You have to get a new car. That might be faster than waiting for them to fix it anyway. So what's going on? We got, well, the world's falling apart, apparently. If you've been on social media, then you know that the world's about to end. Where's my gamblers at? What are the bets for today? DraftKings. Soccer? No, I can't do that. I haven't reached that level of degeneracy yet. Mediocre. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. All right, let's see who we got here. What's up, Alex? Oh, no daytime games today. All nighttime games. Let's see here. I like these two. I like the Giants and the Braves over 7.5, and the Phillies and the Cubs over 7.5. That Phillies and Cubs game is probably going to be a good game. Well, you can see the odds. The money line odds are pretty close. Minus 115 for the Phillies and minus 105 for the Cubs. Are the Orioles still in the lead? Yeah, I think so. The Orioles play the Mariners tonight in Seattle. And according to this is weird. It's always weird whenever you see the favored team has the better or the worse odds. The better betting odds, but the worse odds. So the Orioles are favored in the spread, but the money line bet is 102. So if you think the Orioles are going to win, that's to take the money line bet. I don't even know why you'd do the minus 1.5. Ghost of Rubber Nose, Nature Boy, Dog Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah, happy 4th of July. Cesspool, Brad Pitt. I considered doing a news segment. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done a news segment. But every time I pull up the news, you know, it's just all about Biden and Trump and, you know, how the world's going to end and we're going to be a dictatorship, and it's just, you can't get away from it. It's depressing as shit is what it is.
Every kind of music, every kind of thing.
Cooked a tater on the grill? I don't think that I have. Oh, you got your shipping notification? We got anybody in Texas in here? Got that hurricane headed towards Texas. I think it's supposed to make landfall sometime on Sunday. Jamaica's getting pounded right now. I think the good news is, if there is any good news, that it's supposed to weaken as it goes over the southern tip of Mexico. But then it gets back into the Gulf where it's warm water, so I guess it could strengthen again. But hopefully it gets weakened a good bit when it goes over Mexico. And I guess it could hit anywhere from Alabama all the way down to the southern tip of Texas. What's up, Alex? Chunky? What's up, Stingray? Yeah, that's the worst part about living, where I live anyway, or anywhere in Florida. It's the hurricanes. Hairy leg. Living like it's 5 o'clock somewhere right now. Man, I wish I was with you. All right, we'll get started here in a second. Give me a second. I did turf work for 20 years. Over 20 years. All right. I'm going to give it a shot.
Breaking news from the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done the news for obvious reasons. You'll see as I scroll through this why I haven't done it. I'll just skip over the Biden and Trump shit on here today. College football in 52 days. Yeah. Unfortunately, speaking of the presidential election, it's going to be right in the middle of college football season. So that's going to overshadow the season a little bit in the news cycle. But not for us college football fanatics, right? Hell, we still watch college football if there's a war going on. What's up, Vic? This looks promising. Stripper sues Florida over new age restrictions for workers at adult entertainment businesses. Now, this is this talk about taking your profession seriously. If you're a stripper suing the state of Florida, I think. Oh, look where it is. It's Tallahassee. Shocker. A 19-year-old and the club where she has worked as a stripper has sued Florida's attorney general and 2 local prosecutors to stop enforcement of a new state law prohibiting adult entertainment businesses from employing people who are under 21, claiming it violates their constitutional rights. Huh? This has got to be a joke.
Okay, do I sound stoned to you right now?
How dare you?
Serenity Michelle Bushy. I don't know. Is that her stripper name or her real name? Serenity Michelle Bushy. Bushy's funny for a stripper. Claims that the lawsuit that she lost her job at Cafe Risque in the Gainesville area after the law took effect on Monday, since she is younger than 21. So the strip club is in Gainesville. Of course, Tallahassee is the capital, so she's suing the state of Florida, so that's where the case is being heard, I guess. The purpose of the law is to deter human trafficking, according to Florida lawmakers. Now, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything in the Constitution that says you should be allowed to strip when you're 18. I don't know anything about that. That's like saying it's unconstitutional to say that somebody who's 18 can't drink alcohol or whatever. You know. But I'm too old to frequent strip clubs, but I was a young man at one point. And I got to say, I would prefer 21 and older people being there too. There's something a little creepy about somebody who could possibly be in high school stripping. You know what I mean? That's not good. I mean, unless you're a real weirdo. You know, you might like that kind of thing, but that's not for me. As with similar performers around the state, Bushy earned her living through her art while providing entertainment for the benefit and enjoyment of her audience, the lawsuit said. Plaintiffs have a clear legal right to engage protected speech of this nature. So they're using this as a First Amendment type of thing. Yeah, I don't think that's what I don't think the First Amendment was written with strippers in mind. I'm sorry. No offense to any strippers out there, but I mean, y'all are doing the Lord's work and everything, but let's calm down here a little bit. The new law also prohibits hiring cooks, DJs, waitresses, and security guards who are also under the age of 18 or under the age of 21, or even use workers in that age group to find third-party contractors hired to perform tasks like air conditioning repairs or carpentry. So basically what this is saying is, according to this law, nobody under the age of 21 for any reason can step foot inside a adult entertainment establishment in the state of Florida. Now, I got to be honest, I don't know what the laws here are in South Carolina. For all I know, they don't have the same law there. I don't know the answer to that. I'm only taking bi-star professional word at strip clubs.
How dare you?
So it's a funny story, but yeah, I don't think they're going to win that case. I'm sorry. Imagine that goes all the way to the Supreme Court. Stripper. All right, well, we'll get a little update here on the hurricane while we're at it. It's on the feed, so we'll look at it. So now it was a Category 5 yesterday. It's already got down to a Category 4. Let's see. Hurricane Beryl continues to charge across the Caribbean. After then Category 4 hurricane slammed into Grenada on Monday with catastrophic wind damage, life-threatening storm flooding, blah, 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 10 inches of rain. The hurricane strengthened to a monster Category 5 earlier on Tuesday, but since has weakened back to a Category 4 with 150-mile-an-hour winds. Here's the latest forecast. This is what I want. The NHC, whatever that stands for, National Hurricane Center, I guess. The NHC said it's now possible that Beryl will remain a major hurricane when it passes near Jamaica and still be a hurricane when it reaches the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Due to the threat, the government of Mexico has issued a hurricane watch for the east coast of Yucatan, and Belize has issued a tropical storm watch for much of their coast. I want to see about the path here. Now, if it takes that, why does it keep changing? I don't want to listen to that lady. If it takes that path that keeps flashing on the screen there, that'd be the ideal path, because it looks like it wouldn't hit Texas then. It would slam right into Mexico. All right, so essentially what this is saying is anywhere from Texas to Mexico on Sunday. Yeah, that's a good question. Do you have uninsured motorists in your insurance? I think that's required in the state of South Carolina. I don't think you cannot have an uninsured motorist. If you have insurance, you have to have it. I don't know what it's like in Georgia. Yeah, that's going to be the real problem here. The storm surge all over the Gulf states, so Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, obviously, probably Alabama too. Even if it doesn't make a direct landfall, you're going to see a lot of flooding in those areas, particularly New Orleans. We know about that. What? Florida women with expensive taste steal 24 Stanley Cups, lobster and crab meat in a heist. Oh, Stanley Cup, the brand Stanley. I was like, how the fuck do you get, where would you find 24 Stanley Cups? You're talking about those damn, those water bottles that everyone's using these days. Stanley. Well, let's read that. They sold crab meat, too. I wonder if Jameis Winston was with them. A Florida woman stole 24 Stanley tumbler cups from a hardware store, along with an assortment of champagne, lobster, and crab meat. Boy, she's having a party. Hell. Champagne and lobster. The thefts occurred on Saturday at 2 Winn-Dixie stores and 2 Ace Hardware stores in Nassau County, located in northern Florida near Jacksonville. North Florida strikes again. Shocker. The women were identified as, I'm not going to read their names. It's not important. The alleged thieves stole around $5,000 in merchandise. Well, I know those stupid Stanley cups are way overpriced. I mean, those things cost what, like $50 or $60 for a tumbler? No. think my wife's got one of those. Yeah, that's why I said like Jameis Winston. I don't know, what is it about the people in North Florida wanting to steal crab legs? So this, I don't know if I buy into this shit. Is it just me, or does every single summer we hear about shark attacks in Florida and, you know, up and down the coast? And every year everyone goes, oh my God, this is because of, you know, climate change. But every year they claim is the worst year for shark attacks. I don't think that's accurate. And they go, oh, well, did you see there was 2 shark attacks just yesterday in Panama City? I go, yeah. And? A news flash. If you swim in the ocean in the summertime, especially in the east coast of the United States or the Gulf of Mexico, there's a good chance that there's going to be sharks around you. I've been reading it, but see, I don't know. I've been hearing about shark attacks for the past 3 weeks. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's like the worst year ever. I don't buy it. I don't have the numbers to back it up, but I just feel like every time there's a shark attack, everyone goes, it's sort of like the same thing with hurricanes. Every time there's a hurricane, everyone goes, oh my God, the end of the world's coming. We're about to have category 10 hurricanes by 2026. No. These hurricanes have been happening for thousands of years, or millions of years. Same with sharks. The sharks are rising up. Yeah, I don't know what they're mad about. What I do know is, especially in the Gulf, and I think here too, they move down from the northeast area. Well, certain types of sharks do, especially great white sharks. They move up from the northeast or even Canada area down here in the late spring to breed. It's a cycle they do every year. Apparently, they are much more aggressive, just like most animals or even people. The male sharks in particular are much more aggressive when they're, during breeding season because of the testosterone levels are going through the roof. So they become more aggressive, and you're more likely, if you're in the vicinity of a shark, to get bit by one at that time of year than if it wasn't mating season. Now, I'm not a marine biologist or even a biologist, but I don't think anybody should be surprised when somebody's swimming in the ocean in this time of year and they get bit by a shark. I mean, it happens all the time. Already there has been beach horror stories with one small town experiencing 5 drowning deaths. Now, that's a different thing. That's the riptide. Yeah, 5 people drowned. A woman losing her arm to a shark attack in Florida, and 2 teenage boys in Brooklyn missing for a week after getting pulled under by a wave. 2 missing boys in Brooklyn. Is there a beach in Brooklyn that I don't know about? Or is there Brooklyn? Is that a different state? Analysts at Sumerian Law compiled a list of the most dangerous beaches in the U.S. by studying hurricane landfalls, shark attacks, and surf-related fatalities like rip currents have. According to their findings, all the top 10 most dangerous beaches in the U.S. are in Florida. That's not shocking. Here's why those numbers are skewed. The vast majority of the people who are doing surfing and swimming in the ocean are in Florida. I guess maybe California too, but I think probably even more in Florida than California. Just a numbers game. Let's see what the most dangerous beaches in Florida are. New Smyrna Beach. I'm having deja vu. I feel like I did the same exact story last time this year on the Midday Show. And it's the same fucking beaches, too. All right, New Smyrna Beach, Panama City, Stewart Beach, which I don't even know where that is, on Hamilton Island, 45 miles north of West Palm, okay. Puerto Rico beaches. That's not Florida. Carolina Beach in North Carolina. Good. I don't see Charleston on there, Isle of Palms or Folly Beach or anything, so I'm good. Atlantis is preparing to invade the surface. A bridge near Minnesota dam may collapse, officials say. They can do little to stop it. Yeah. Fuck that bridge. Let's give some more money to Ukraine. How about that? We don't need bridges. $40-year-old bridge. So this thing should have been replaced probably 25 years ago, or at least updated and upgraded. The standards for building bridges in the United States has changed drastically in the past 40 years. Volusius from New Smyrna Beach. That's right. He did say that, didn't he? Well, you heard it. I'm not going to even read the story. Nothing they can do to stop it, so they're just going to go ahead and let it fall and flood. There's a dam there, too, so probably flood that town. Man dies during a Grand Canyon hike with his niece, who warns don't underestimate nature. Well, I could have told you that. Now, first of all, I didn't even know you could hike in the Grand Canyon. I thought most of it was restricted to, tours. Companies give you a tour, but I didn't know you could just go hiking in the canyon. Unless they were doing it illegally, I don't know. And I think the reason it is illegal is because there's no way they can help you if something does happen. Grand Canyon National Park. Park authorities received a report around 7 p.m. that Scott Sims, age 69, of Austin, Texas, was semi-conscious on the river trail. So they do have trails up there. Okay. I didn't know that. I mean, if I had to guess, it says they didn't have a cause of death. Probably heat stroke. 70 years old or 69 years old. It is beautiful up there, though. Yeah. So, it's not like he died from lack of water, heat stroke or lack of water. Dehydration or something. Listen, all right, this will be the last story I read here. StreamYard's open if anybody wants to come on. To save the spotted owl, United States officials plan to kill hundreds of thousands of other owl species. What? This might be the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Yeah, let's kill hundreds of thousands of owls so that we can save owls. To save the imperial spotted owl from potential extinction, U.S. wildlife officials are embracing a contentious plan to deploy trained shooters into dense West Coast forests to kill almost 500,000 barred owls that are crowding out their smaller cousins. 500,000. Next thing you know, 2 years from now, we'll be going, well, we got to do something because this barred owl is now extinct because we killed all of them. What the fuck? Documents released by the agency show a maximum of about 450,000 barred owls would be shot over 3 decades after the birds from the eastern U.S. encroached into the West Coast territory of 2 owls, the northern spotted owl and the California spotted owl. Without actively managing barred owls, northern spotted owls will likely go extinct in all of their majority of their range, despite decades of collaborative conservative efforts from the blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't know anything about owls. I'm for letting nature take its course. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show, sir.
Fuck them owls.
Yeah, fuck them owls. I wonder how you get that job. They're going to hire people to kill 500,000 owls. So what do you just, I don't know, like, how does that even work? You just sit in a tree stand all day like you're hunting for deer and just wait for an owl to fly by? Or you got to go out at night with some night vision goggles and start popping owls?
I don't know, but are they taking applications?
I was going to say, I could see you doing that. Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm with you, man. Fuck it. They go extinct because they got crowded out by something else. That's natural selection at its finest.
Yeah, so obviously the other owl migrated from somewhere to come into California, right? So why, like, what's stopping the owl that's getting devastated from going somewhere else too? You know what I'm saying? Go leave.
Yeah, or the owl that came there, go back where the fuck you came from.
Well, they're not going to do that.
I bet they migrated from Canada.
I think, according to this, it said they migrated from east. So I don't know what other part of the United States they came from, but somewhere east of California, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So basically anywhere in the fucking country.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We got a bunch of them here. I don't know, like I said, I'm not a bird person. I mean, I can look at I can sit on my back porch and see like a cardinal or a blue jay or, you know, like very common type birds I can name. I don't know shit about owls, but we got a bunch of them down here. Have you ever seen one before, like in person? That's not at a zoo?
Barn owls, yeah.
Yeah.
We got up around Reelfoot Lake, which is about, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour from my house. You've got bald eagles up there.
Shit, we got a ton of those here. Yeah, we got a ton of them here.
Yeah.
But those owls are savage. I mean, some of them get big or really big. I don't know the difference between, you know, species or whatever owls, but if you got a little yappy dog like a Chihuahua or something, you got to be careful letting that thing out in your yard at night because there ain't nothing stopping an owl from swooping down and taking that motherfucker. Same with a cat.
Yeah, well, that's more natural selection in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, most people don't let their cat outside to pee, but
The yappy dogs in the world's better.
you said fewer yappy dogs is better?
Well, let's be honest about it. Right? The world would be a better place without them.
Oh, it depends on what kind it is. Some of them are kind of annoying. I mean, I had a miniature pincher who was a cool ass dog, and he wasn't yappy either. He didn't bark. I mean, but he was small.
Yeah.
But he looked like a Doberman.
Well, no, it's a min pin. It looks like a rat.
Nah. Mine didn't.
For me to consider it a dog, it has to meet a certain weight limit.
What's the limit?
At least 40 pounds.
At least 40 pounds? That eliminates a lot of fucking... That eliminates half the dog species or more.
Fine. Dogs to me.
What kind of dog do you have?
A yellow lab.
Oh. It can't weigh much more than 40 pounds. I mean, I guess it could. But, I mean, they max out at around 60, don't they?
Yeah, I'm about to say, he's like 90, 95 pounds.
95 pounds? So you got a fat fucking lab.
Somewhere around 90 or 95.
What are you feeding that
No,
thing?
he's not fat.
You feeding that thing McDonald's or Taco Bell or something?
No, he gets the Blue Buffalo.
Oh, he gets the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, we had to switch his food some years ago because my wife freaked out because he had a seizure at the house, and she took him to the vet, and his magnesium and potassium were low, and that's what caused it. Because I bought Purina One like most people, because that's what you see on TV, and he said the vet told us that food's just lacking in a lot of the nutrients they need, and told us to switch it.
Yeah, I do the same with the cat. I feed her. I forget what it's called. It's it's venison and salmon. But they don't sell it. They don't sell it like in the grocery store. I have to order it online.
There's a dedicated pet food store we go to, Hollywood Feed.
I used to have a dog that had major epilepsy to the point where she would have sometimes several seizures a day. She actually died early from it. She was a rescue I got from the pound, and day one she was having seizures as soon as I brought her home. She lived to be like maybe 10, I think. But talk about expensive. She was on some sort of anti-seizure medication that she had to take every day or twice a day. And that shit was like $60 a month or something. Ridiculous.
I mean, we put them on stuff for like heartworms and stuff like that, just to be on the safe side. Outside of that, we just give him vitamins. Hell, he's 12, 13 years old now. He's getting up there. He's old.
Yeah, labs, unfortunately, you're getting up towards the end of their average lifespan.
Oh, yeah, and believe me, I'm not looking forward to it. With 3 little kids in the house that are all attached to him, and my wife's attached to him.
Yep.
I ain't looking forward to that.
Yeah. Our last two
I
was...
may already be getting another one soon anyway, because the last 2 dogs I've had, I got from my uncle because he just doesn't have the patience to train a puppy. And he's got another one that he just doesn't have the patience to train, so I'm probably going to end up with it too.
Well, that makes it easier if you have a dog, or more than one dog. If one of them dies, at least you still have the other one.
Right. I got to look into it. I mean, I've heard of them, but I don't know how big they got. It's not even a year old yet. It's a Cane Corso puppy.
Oh, that's what Hufferbilly has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he tells us daily about how much that dog destroys his house. And you would say, I don't know how old the one you're going to get is, but if it's a puppy, I think they're pretty brutal at first.
Well, most of them are, but I ain't afraid to punch a dog in the face either, tearing my shit up.
Those are cool dogs. They're big ass dogs, but talk about a low lifespan. I think their average lifespan is like 9 years.
Really?
Yeah. I was looking at them the other day online because I was thinking about getting one. But I'm pulling up pictures of them now. They get huge. Here's what they look like. I know you can't see it, Slim, but...
Yeah. Oh, I've seen pictures of Cane Corsos before, so I mean, I know what they look like full grown.
Let me see how big. Let me see what kind of weight they get to. Cane Corso weight. Looks like 26 inches tall. Lifespan 9 to 12 years. 88 to 110 pounds. I think some of them get way bigger than that. At least the video I saw on YouTube was this lady that has a YouTube channel who has like one of those mobile pet grooming services. And she had a Cane Corso in there, and the thing weighed like 160 pounds or something. It was massive.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The biggest dog that I've ever seen in person, my grandmother for years had this solid black Great Dane. You can almost put a saddle on that damn thing. I swear to God.
I had a friend in high school that had one of those, and well, it's hard for me to explain exactly the relationship with people. Anyway, his sister had a boy or had a husband, was married, and they had kids. The kids were over at the house playing with the dog one day, and the dog bit one of them, and it fucked and like put the kid's entire head inside of its mouth and locked down on it, and it put punctures like right up under its chin, like where its neck is, and on the top of its head, it like ripped part of the scalp off. And he took it out in the backyard and put a bullet in his head.
Yep.
Right then.
Yep. That's what you do. Now, the one I have is snapped at my oldest daughter one time, but she also got told like 3 times, leave him alone. And it was one of those, like I said, he just snapped at her. He didn't even get her.
Yeah, I don't think it's smart. I don't know if anybody in here has a Great Dane or not, but I don't think if you got small children, I don't think it's a very wise thing to have a Great Dane. I mean, they might really severely injure the kid without even trying to. They might be playing with them.
Yeah. Those things are huge, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, my grandmother was 4'10". She literally could have put a saddle on that damn thing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. They don't live long either. But usually the bigger the dog, the shorter their lifespan.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, little yappy dogs stay around forever.
Well, my last 2 were both 17 years old when they died. One of them was the miniature pinscher. The other one was she was probably about 65, 70 pounds. She was just a lab mix mutt. But
I'll say I've never actually gone out and bought a dog. Like both of them I've had, because my mom was a cat person. That's why I can't stand cats. But both dogs I've had, I got from my uncle. And like I got a buddy that went out and legit paid like $4 or $5 grand for a Boston Terrier. And I'm like, there ain't no fucking way.
$5 grand for a Boston Terrier?
Yeah.
What are they, shit gold bars or something?
It better.
That's insane.
Or some of the prices I've seen, for people that breed like English bulldogs and shit like that. Ain't no way I'm paying $1,000, much less thousands of dollars for a dog. I'm just not doing it.
So have you ever heard of Maine Coons? It's a cat breed.
No.
They're huge. They get up like 40 or 50 pounds for a cat. But anyway, I was looking at breeders to see how much they cost. Here, I'll show you what they look like. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can really. They're cool looking cats. They almost don't even look domesticated. They look like almost like a wildcat.
Bobcat or something.
Yeah, exactly. They look like a bobcat. But anyway, I went on these breeders' websites just to see how much they cost. They cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for a kitten that's like 6 weeks old.
Ghost Rider.
They're pretty though. They're so big they look like they could kill you if they wanted to. Like a damn tiger.
Well, probably could.
Oh, Pete McGaha's got a Maine Coon. Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, I just don't like cats. Now I don't have to smell the shit box in my house either. My dog goes outside and shits in the yard.
My shit box doesn't smell. I got a special one though.
I could see you buying like one of those electric self-cleaning litter boxes.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it makes it easy.
Yuppieville with a yuppie litter box.
I only got to clean it once a week. And I don't smell anything. That's the best. That's the best 100. I think it was like 100 and it might have been 150 at Walmart. Now they have ones that cost like thousands of dollars. There's tiers to this shit now. I got the Honda Civic of fucking electric litter boxes. But we've had it for over a year, I guess. Well, ever since we got the cat, so a year and a half, and it still works. But
well, my dog shits in the yard, and my grass is greener and thicker where he does.
Yeah, fertilizer. But that $150 might be the best $150 I've ever spent on anything for that litter box.
I don't know, I remember seeing this thing on, I think it was from an episode of Shark Tank or something like that, where they sold this kit where you could teach your cat how to use the toilet.
Oh, like on Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
That would be so convenient, yet wishful thinking.
I didn't know you could teach a cat to do anything, honestly.
Well,
I know you can't baptize
box.
Do what now, Slim?
So you have to teach him to use the litter box.
Well, I didn't, but that's because she was already trained, I guess. I don't even know how you train them to use the litter box. I think you just put one in the house and they just automatically know that's where I'd want to shit rather than the carpet.
When I lived at my mom and dad's house, when they had to teach a cat how to crap in a litter box, they would just put it in the shower because one of them loved to go in the shower and do its business.
Now my cat is pretty smart. She doesn't need to, but on the electric litter box, there's a blinking light on it. So the way it works is it has sensors on it. So when the cat jumps in the litter box, it knows that there's something in there. So once the cat gets out of the litter box, I think it's either 5 or 10 minutes later, this like electronic rake rakes the shit or whatever that they did into like a little container at the end of it, and it has a cover on it. Well, the cat sees the blinking light, so after she gets out of the litter box, she takes her paw and smacks the light. If you smack the button, it makes it. It's like a manual thing. It automatically makes the rake engage. So it's almost like she's flushing the toilet. Like she gets out of it and pushes the button, even though she doesn't have to. I don't even know how she figured that out, but she did.
Well, see, then you should be able to train your cat to use the toilet, and then you don't have to worry about it.
I went to this dude's house, and he had like 5 cats, and he had this electric litter box that looked like a fucking spaceship. You know what it looked like? It looked like a high-end dryer. Hey, you know how you get the when you open the door on the dryer, it's like a circle and it's like a big tub in there? That's what it looks like, except it's like a dryer that's filled with litter. What it looks like. And I asked him.
I've seen some that kind of look like the back of a cement.
Yeah, exactly like that. I don't know how those work, because mine's not like that. Mine's flat on the ground like a regular litter box. It doesn't like have that big circular container on it. But I asked that guy how much he paid for that thing, because I was like, I'm thinking about getting an electric litter box. This is right when we first got the cat. And he goes, I said, how much did you pay for that thing? $800.
$800?
$800.
Well, shit, I'd rather just rake the shit up myself.
Yeah, I ain't even know. I'm spending $800 on a litter box. But he's got 5 cats, so it might be worth it. He might be scooping shit all day long if he didn't have that thing.
Yeah, if you got to work, it might be better if you have 5 cats to use that kind of litter box.
Blazer Dog, he said he trained his cat to use the doorknob to go out on the porch and sit for a treat. How in the hell did you do that?
I would be more scared of that kind of cat, because I would be scared it would run away or it would come back and kill me in my sleep.
My cat goes outside and doesn't run away. I never trained her to do that. She just doesn't. She ain't got no interest in it. Now, she has jumped over the fence a couple times to chase after a bird or something, but she comes right back. She doesn't leave. Actually, one night I actually left her outside. She was sitting out on the back porch with me late at night, and I forgot that she was out there. And I just came in and went to bed and turned the lights off and locked the doors. And the next morning, I woke up and went downstairs, and she was laying on the welcome mat right by the door. She never even left the porch. I don't know, Nick.
Like the cat my mom has now, all it does is it wants to go sleep in the bed. It's so spoiled.
See, I'm lucky like that. My cat doesn't have any interest in sleeping in the bed. Which is fine with me because I don't want her in the bed.
I don't want the cat in the bed either. I'm afraid that thing's gonna scratch my head open.
Well, if you get me, some cats are assholes, but some of them aren't. Mine's not. She would never hurt any. Well, she wouldn't hurt a person. An animal's a different story, though.
I've seen cats that brought rats they killed to us.
Well, mine does lizards. That's her thing. She's killed hundreds of lizards. Well, she doesn't kill them. She just rips their legs off and their tail.
So it can't move anywhere.
Yeah,
basically.
it's like flopping around on the floor, and she just plays with it like it's a toy.
Torture it in misery.
She never eats it though.
Life.
Now bugs is a different story. If there's like a beetle or something, she'll eat that.
Ugh.
But that's all I had my back door that goes out to my back porch has a giant window on it. So she can sit there and look out the window and you can see she'll sit there for hours at a time just looking for lizards. And then if she sees one, she'll start meowing. She wants outside to go kill the thing.
Yep, BA. It's really just extra protein for that cat.
Cat sounds like Vic. What does that mean? Yeah, we lost Slim. Here he is.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got a phone call.
Welcome back, Slim.
Did I miss anything interesting?
No.
No, we're just still talking about cats and litter boxes and all that.
Yeah. Well, who was it that said that? Oh, Blazer Dog said he trained his cat to use the doorknob to go outside.
I mean, that would be the way to do it because I absolutely refuse to have a doggy door on any door in my house. Screw that noise.
I'd be afraid a burglar could somehow get through the doggy door.
They can.
Yeah, well, especially if you
If
have
they're
a dog
small enough.
as big as mine. Like, if you're talking one of those little ones for like a little yappy dog, I mean, okay, yeah, I'm not worried about that necessarily.
But even if you have a smaller doggy door, they can still find a way to unlock the door. You know what I'm saying? Their arm might not be long enough, but they could probably use some kind of contraption to unlock the door.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest about it. A door lock only keeps an honest man honest. If they want to get in your house, they're just going to bust a window and come on in.
Yeah, but even if you have like an alarm system, unless you have motion detectors in there, but by the dog door, if they crawl through the doggy door, then they're not going to set the alarm off.
Yeah.
And that's why you always keep a gun.
Well, me and Slim don't have that problem.
or 12 or 15 or...
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have that problem. Huh.
Well, actually, if there are any ATF agents listening, I lost all mine in a boating accident.
Yeah, you did. Nature Boy might have the ATF showing up at his house soon. He just bought another gun. He's bought, what, is it 3 or 4 in the past couple of months? He's sick like us.
Yeah. Let's see. I bought that one in March, and then I bought myself another one on Father's Day.
I'm trying to sell one. I'm not getting another one until I sell the one I want to sell.
We'll see. I don't sell guns.
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
No. I just don't get rid of any of them.
Yeah, I've sold a few. But always to get another one.
Well, I guess I did sell one, but honestly, it was the first rifle I ever bought. And, of course, I was young, did shit impulsively, and it was a piece of junk. And I was still young when I got rid of it. Honestly, just needed the money. But that was one I wasn't sad to see go.
I just did some updates to one of mine last weekend. I posted like a short video about it on this channel.
Yeah, I saw that.
What I was going to do was a full installation video for that trigger. That model of gun, I want to slap whoever designed the trigger system in that gun, because what should have taken 5 minutes took me about 3 hours. But anyway, I was going to do an installation video, a how-to video on it, and post it on this channel, because when I tried to look up how to install that trigger on that model of gun, there wasn't really that many good videos on how to do it. So I was going to do it, but guess what? YouTube just changed their policy on firearm videos again.
So what's the policy on firearm videos?
So the newest policy is that you can't take the gun apart and do modifications to it on YouTube.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, they're getting stupid.
Yeah.
YouTube, as much as people want to make fun of it, YouTube's going to drive a lot of shit over to Rumble, and they're going to make Rumble bigger than it probably has any business.
Well, according to a YouTube video I saw another guy who's got like millions of subscribers, a gun tuber or whatever you call them, talking about this new policy, and he said that originally what they made this policy for was because they didn't want people showing how to install a bump stock on your gun. But instead of just saying you can't install a bump stock on your gun on YouTube, they just did a blanket, you can't make any modifications to the internals at all.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
A bump stock's not even internal.
I don't know.
You blithering idiots.
That's what he said.
I mean, it's literally just a stock. Like, I mean, I'm sure you know how to take the stock where it's just the bumper tube on your AR. That's literally all it is. It's a different stock you put on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how changing out a trigger is bad. I mean, it's like putting a different rims on your car or something. I mean, it does change the function of the gun slightly, but it's not crazy.
I mean, I can understand them, okay, if you say installing hair triggers and shit like that, because, I mean, I've seen some triggers, you bump the gun too hard and they'll go off.
Yeah. That's not illegal either, though.
No, it's not illegal. But, I mean, YouTube doesn't have to go by the law. They can do whatever they want.
It's kind of becoming like Facebook nowadays, the way they regulate what goes on the platform.
Well, I'm not on Facebook, so I wouldn't know anything about that. Now, you could post, I think, anything you want to still on like Twitter or something, but
yeah, but that's because of who is in charge of Twitter nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, as long as it's not any story about Hunter Biden, you can post whatever you want to Facebook. And my wife complains about it all the time, how much porn and crap is on Facebook.
Really? Because I never seen it there.
Oh, yeah? Well, I mean, I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know.
I mean, the closest you'll ever see to porn on social, or at least I've seen, is on Twitter.
And according to her, stuff gets through Facebook, on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Riz Chat says Facebook is a boomer graveyard, LOL.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't on it.
Vandy Dandy says the guy who invented the trigger thing regrets it. I don't know what the trigger thing is. Are you talking about a bump stock?
I think the fight over them is ridiculous because, like I said, to me it's just a novelty thing that you, number one, really don't even need. I can bump fire a rifle without a
I was going to
stock.
say. Look, if I make a modification to any of my guns, it's to make it better, not less functional, and I don't trust them. I think they have a lot of problems.
I mean, they don't really have problems per se, but it is just a fact that anything fully automatic is harder to control than something semi-auto.
Lou says, I'm for YouTube doing whatever they have to do to keep advertisers on board. But if you go to any of these gun channels, almost all the advertisements are for gun-related products.
Right.
It might be those advertisements though might be ones that are directly to the YouTuber and not through YouTube itself. Because I know there's a lot
some
of people.
them. It's some of both. But what happens is just to throw a company out there, say Coca-Cola. You know, if Coca-Cola's on their period and decide to say, we don't like this shit, you need to do something about it or we'll pull our advertisement, which absolutely has happened.
Yeah, I get that.
YouTube or Facebook or whatever will change the policy. And I'm not saying it's happened with Coke. I'm just using that.
Well, why can't Coca-Cola just say, we don't want any Coca-Cola ads on firearm videos? Put them on everything else. Huh?
The algorithm gets really tricky is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
They want to say, well, we can't necessarily control what advertisements end up on what videos.
I don't know. There's all kinds of offensive shit on YouTube. You know?
Well, literally, offensive is completely subjective. So literally everything can be considered offensive.
This is why Twitter is bleeding money. They can't keep advertisers because anything goes over there. That's according to Uncle Lou right there.
There's a lot of advertisements on Twitter.
There is. But Elon Musk already said he doesn't care if advertisers pull out of Twitter. That's not why he bought it.
Twitter was already losing money hand over fist before he bought it.
Yeah.
He even admitted that it was he didn't buy it for an investment. It was a terrible investment.
Yeah. He said he literally said in an interview with Don Lemon, I bought it to preserve free speech, and
well, it was a $40
money, so be it.
It was a $40 billion troll job by Elon Musk.
It was.
And then he tried to get out of it at one point, but they said, no, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he did try to back out towards the end, but it was already too late. Well, I don't know if he tried to back out or he tried to get more money, or pay less for it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Because I remember something. It's been a while. I think he tried to pay a more reasonable, because he obviously overpaid for it. I think he tried to pay a more reasonable price.
Revenue is down 54% since he bought it. Okay, might be a good time to buy stock in if it's down that bad.
But see, here's the thing. Revenue may be down, but overhead's down too because he fired a lot of people.
Almost everybody.
Just like any other business. Buy it, fire them all, and restart.
Well, no, he's right. You didn't need that many employees monitoring what people are putting on Twitter and just running around taking shit down.
You can't buy Twitter stock. Elon took it private. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bought it out.
Repeat that, please.
I can't really tell it. People complain about Twitter. I can't tell really that much of a difference between before and now, except for the fact that it's a lot harder to get banned from Twitter now than it used to be. That's the only difference I can tell. As far as the way it functions, I don't see a difference.
See, I didn't get Twitter until 2023, so I can't really tell you anything about it.
If anything, I would probably say
it was late 2023.
it feels like there's more ads on there now than there used to be. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but
I shortage of ads on there. I can promise you that.
Tesla stock is soaring the last few days. There's a guy on Twitter, and I don't follow him, so I don't know why he keeps popping up on my feed, but he's always on there. He started this. His whole Twitter page is about Nancy Pelosi's trading. So his philosophy is, anytime Nancy Pelosi buys a stock, he posts what she bought and how much of it she bought, and advises people to buy it. That's
actually probably a good idea.
Yeah. His whole, I think his bio says something like, always buy stock following somebody who never loses, and she never loses.
I saw something about that. I think it was yesterday. Like, Warren Buffett's a stock market wizard. She outperforms him.
She's apparently made $1.2 million a couple days ago in the stock market off of one stock. I don't know what the stock was. I don't have any stocks, so I wouldn't know, but.
Well, that's something else that people argue all the time. It's like, it's blatantly obvious insider trading, but people still try and defend it. And it's not just her. She's far from the only one.
See, there's ways around it because I don't even know if technically she's the one buying it, or if it's her husband buying it. So she could
be using somebody as basically a proxy when it's actually them trying to control it, and the other one's only on there for legal purposes.
Right.
Well, that's exactly who does it, is her husband.
Well, to be fair to Nancy Pelosi, she's not the only one doing it.
Yeah.
They're all doing it.
Half of Washington, D.C. is doing that shit.
And it's not exclusively a left thing. It's just a bad on the right.
Yeah.
But I think there's more to it than that. I think people like AOC are a prime example of, like, this bitch wasn't worth nothing when she got elected. And now she's worth like $80 million off a less than $200,000 a year salary.
Yeah, something fishy's going on there.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and like I said, I don't care if it's left or right. Like I said, I'm sure there's other examples other than her. She's just the example I'm using.
Yeah, because she's the one that's being put out there.
Well, every president comes out of the presidency and then become 100 millionaires. They all do it.
Well, a lot of them were millionaires before they even got there.
Not most of them.
A lot of them were.
I mean, it depends on who you're talking about. I get how far back you want to go, but.
I mean, at least the Clintons set up the Clinton Foundation, so it has a legitimate face anyway.
Well, then they go give these speaking engagements and get paid $5-10 million for a speech to a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to see here. Whatever. There was some politician recently that proposed a bill where Congress or Senate couldn't trade at all.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen, no.
Yeah, that's like, them not voting themselves a pay raise.
Or term limits.
That's like them voting on term limits. It's not going to happen. They're not going to end their own career.
See, like, I get, and some people give Ted Cruz credit for actually putting forth a bill to put up term limits. I'll give him some, but anybody can put it up and know it's not going to go anywhere. So on the other hand, it very well may just be political grandstanding.
Probably what it is.
See, this is another question too. Why are we blaming problems on who's the president, which the president does have a lot of blame, but yet we ignore who's been in the Capitol building for 30, 40 years?
Oh, yeah. And that's where you have to look, like I said, to both sides because, okay, you want to point at people like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. Mitch McConnell was just as bad.
You
had Ted Kennedy up there looking like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, we might ought to have age restrictions too. I mean, you have to be 35, right, to be president. Maybe we should make a limit on how old they can be too.
Well, I'm all for that. Now, you don't have those same restrictions for Congress. You can get elected to the House or the Senate at 18.
Yeah.
I think it's 25 for House and 30 for Senate. Yeah.
No, you had some college kid running in South Carolina back in either 20 or 22. I don't remember which year it was.
Yeah, you can look it up easily. I don't know.
Look how old Joe Biden was when he got in there.
Article 2, Clause 2. No, I'm sorry. Article 1, Section 2, Clause 2. No person shall be a representative, shall not have attained to the age of 25 years and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state in which shall be chosen. Basically, 25 years old, 7 years a citizen, and be an inhabitant of the state.
Yeah, it's 30 years for the Senate, 25 for the House.
Personally, I think it should be you should live in that district, because there's a lot of members in Congress right now don't even live in the district that they represent, which is stupid.
Yeah, like they'll just have a P.O. box in that district.
Like one of them's actually in my own state. His name's Clay Higgins. Lives in some district, but he doesn't look. I'm sorry, he represents one district, but lives in another.
Yeah.
Now, I know the life expectancy was a lot shorter back in the 1700s, but whenever the United States government was formed, the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, the whole thing, most of those guys were under 25 years old.
Heck, most of them were under the age of 20 when they fought the Revolution.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they were.
Okay. I'm about to say, because I remember reading a quote from Benjamin Franklin. Like, part of their point was the reason a lot of them got into politics at an older age, and the reason the pay was so low was because, that was people that had
the money.
People that already had made their money, and people that more than likely owned businesses, so they had skin in the game.
The two oldest, I'll pull up the average age of the majority of the people that signed the Declaration of Independence were under 30. Some of them were, like Hamilton was only like 21, I think. The two oldest ones were John Adams and Benjamin Franklin. Jefferson was like 33, I think. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Well, heck, did you know in ancient Rome, those who were elected to the Republic did not earn a salary at all for the year that they were elected to?
Yeah, I remember reading that.
So most of them had already either made their money or had another business that was thriving on the side.
There was a couple of them on there that were under 20. Let's see here. Pull it up. Oh, this website's got pop-up ads out the fucking wazoo here.
Of course.
All right, here we go. Here's a list. Let me put this on the screen here. Wait, no, this isn't right.
I'm fairly certain Washington wasn't in his 20s.
No, there were some older ones on there.
Yeah.
I think he was older towards the end of his presidency.
Damn, this is a...
Well, I knew Washington had already attained a high rank in the British Army before the Revolutionary War ever started.
Yeah, he was a colonel, and then he became a general in the American Army. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. I wish somebody would just give me a list. All right, here we go.
Can't be simple.
I found one. All right, here we go. The ages of the founding fathers who signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776 varied widely. Here are the ages of some of the key signers at the time that they signed it. Okay. The oldest one, Benjamin Franklin at 70, Thomas Jefferson 33, John Adams 40, John Hancock 39, Washington 44, James Madison 25. I know the what's his face from South Carolina. He was only like 21. Why did they stop the list there? Yeah, Edward Rutledge from South Carolina was 26. Yeah, this isn't the full list. Anyway, my point is, they didn't care about ages back then, like we do now.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you, though, that I think a cap on age is not a bad idea.
What would that cap be? What number would you pick?
75.
I mean, I think a good starting point, I mean, if you qualify for Social Security, kick rocks.
65?
Or 62. You want to go with early Social Security.
I don't know about that. I would go higher than that. I'd probably go around 75. Yeah.
And like I said, I'd even be willing to go under 60. But I think a good starting point for that would be 65, retirement age. You know, otherwise, you know, like you said, you end up with. I'm also to the point too. Fucking term limits on everybody needs to happen yesterday.
That's one of those things that almost every American agrees on, but none of the politicians agree on.
I would say 4 terms for the representatives and 2 terms for the Senate.
Like, you have people like Bernie Sanders, who legit has never worked any job other than an elected position.
Oh yeah, career politicians are always the worst.
Here you go.
Now, not all of his time has been in Washington. I think he started off as like the mayor of some fucking town in Delaware or wherever the hell or Vermont, wherever the hell he's from.
James Monroe was 18 when he signed the Declaration. Aaron Burr was 20. Alexander Hamilton was 21. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, right? James Madison, 25. That's the 4 youngest ones. But James Monroe was only 18 years old.
Well, you also have to figure, at the time, you were considered a grown man at 14,
yeah, that's
15,
what I was saying. I mean, the life expectancy back then, I mean, hardly anybody lived to 70 like Franklin did.
I think that was more common than people think. I think that is a little skewed because infant mortality was a whole lot higher back then.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know if that. I guess that average is in there. You're right about that, though. I mean, plus just medicine in general.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to have a surgery, you're most likely going to die. Not to mention.
They wouldn't even put you to sleep. They would just give you a shot of whiskey and say, "Hey, relax."
Yeah, and not to mention like smallpox and polio and all that shit too.
So. Their water was basically shit.
George Washington was 44. Man, he if the depiction of him are right, he looked a lot older than that, didn't he?
Well, those powdered wigs don't help.
That's true.
Which that's something. I mean, fashion comes back in style all the time. Can we bring back powdered wig?
Yeah, that's right. Vandy Dandy says Monroe was president almost 50 years after the Declaration of Independence, and he signed it. That's crazy.
Well, since we're on the topic of age, this is something else I need to figure out. I'm about annoyed with this half in, half out shit of either you're an adult at 18 or 21. Can we just pick one and settle with it?
I know, right?
I'm with you. I've been saying that for years. I mean, so do you want to raise the age to join the military to 21, or would you rather lower the drinking age to 18?
Lower the drinking age to 18.
Lower the drinking age to 18 if you're old
Yeah.
enough.
It should be 18. It should be 18 to smoke a cigarette, 18 to vote, 18 to join the military, 18 to drink, 18 to smoke weed. You name it.
Yeah, if you're old enough, if you're old enough to die, old enough to drink. So,
Well, and some of it, like the gun laws, don't even make sense. Like, I can't go buy a Glock at 18, but I can go buy an AK-47.
Yeah.
Well, the drinking age in Georgia during the, I think, late 60s, during the Vietnam War, Lester Maddox was the governor. He certainly said, hey, if they go to fight in Vietnam, they can certainly drink. So he lowered the drinking age to 18.
I'm pretty sure all the states had 18 drinking age back then.
They may have. Well, well, he was one of the first, I think, one of the first states to do it. I think Georgia
they
was.
didn't bump it up to 21 until the 80s.
Right.
I don't even think drinking and driving became illegal till like the 80s. I'm talking about drinking while you're driving, not driving intoxicated.
Yeah.
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 Shit, in Virginia, up where my father-in-law lives, you can have an open container in the car as long as you're not driving it. So the passenger can drink all they want.
yeah, it should be fine for the passenger to drink.
Virginia has the most effed up laws as far as drinking that I've ever seen in my life. I guess it's because they're a commonwealth. Because, you can only buy your liquor at the ABC store. And, real strict rules on you certainly can't buy anything on Sunday. All of that. It's just it's a mess.
Although those rules are actually more common than you think. Louisiana is the only state I can actually name that will let you buy beer, wine, and liquor in the same store.
Well, Alabama's one of those states. I actually got in a conversation with a guy about this like 2 weeks ago. The stuff that most of us can go just easily find in the liquor store 7 days a week, you can't do that in Alabama. But what they do in Alabama is like a lottery system. Like, take something like Happy Van Winkle. If you get picked in their lottery system, you can actually buy it at MSRP, not the markup price.
Well, I remember
Right there.
I remember living in Montgomery. They had, of course, as far as closing the bars down, they had to close, I think, at 2, but they had these private clubs. So you could go to a private club, which it cost you $1 club membership to go in, and you sign in right then.
Yeah, that's a dumb law too. So all the establishments that serve alcohol have to close at 2 a.m. Right? But if you say you're a private club, you can be open 24 hours a day, and so they just sell you, like you said, they sell you a membership for $1.
Yeah,
it was good it was good for life too. $1.
Right.
Rules aren't governing that.
It's so stupid.
Many of those joints, back in the day. Hey, you bring up Declaration of Independence. I just want to ask a question. Did you say this? I think you just said it too, Pete. I'm sorry, may have missed it, but did you say that John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died 50 years later on the 4th of July?
Yeah, they died on the same day.
Yes.
Wow. And what's weird is that Madison's last words were Thomas Jefferson lives, not realizing he had already died.
I believe they were born in the same year and died on the same exact day.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's a little. I think that's a little bit of God's providence with those two men. As our founding fathers of our country. Yeah.
It was a match made in heaven.
Yep.
Well, most of their life they were political rivals, but they were real close friends, though.
They
Very
were friends
close.
prior to the revolution. Then they became enemies, and then after both of their presidencies, they're friends again.
Yep. Yep.
You don't see that anymore. Most of these political rivals aren't friends anymore.
I think a lot more of these politicians are friends than what they.
Well, that might be true too. I don't know. I know like George Bush Jr. is all buddy with Obama. So.
Yeah, and then there's like a lot of YouTube channels that are devoted to like the president's AI voices, where they're like all friends and they do stuff together.
Oh, they're all a part of the same club.
Yeah.
The Fuck America Club.
They all go and have their meetings at the Bohemian Grove.
Oh man, yeah. I wonder if there's more secret societies. Well, there's the Skull Club, isn't there?
The what club?
I think it's called the Skull Club. It was all Yale graduates.
Yeah, that's Bush was in that supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Bush graduated from Yale.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
I didn't know that either.
Have you ever seen that movie W?
I with Josh Brolin playing George W. I think so. Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a really well done movie. I mean, and Brolin does him very well.
It doesn't paint Bush out in the best light, though, does it?
No. It doesn't. I mean, it ain't no pretty picture.
Yeah, it makes him look like a total buffoon.
You say it.
It's good though. Whoever the guy that played Bush Senior in that movie, I don't know who it was, but he looks he could pass for Bush Senior.
Wait,
Yeah.
So who played Bush again?
Josh Brolin. No Country for Old Men. Josh Brolin. Bad cop in what's the Denzel Washington movie? Criminal or Gangster? American Gangster. Yeah.
No.
Slim, if you haven't seen W, it's worth watching.
Okay. So not the guy who played Thanos. Okay.
He's on the screen right here.
Played what? What? Pick?
Thanos. Yeah.
Thanos in what? What movie?
The Avengers.
Yeah.
The Avengers. Oh yeah. That's the same guy. Yeah.
Whoever the guy
was. Finger and get rid of half the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanos. Yeah, you're right. Yep, that's it.
Wow.
Whoever the guy that played Dick Cheney, he looked like Dick Cheney too.
Yes, he did. He did.
He must have had prosthetics on or some kind of mask or something, because he looked exactly like him.
Wasn't that an HBO made movie, Pete?
I don't. I got it pulled up here. Came out in 2008.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was. I think it was an HBO made movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it when it first came out. I haven't seen it since, so it's been.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it's been 16 years since I've seen it, but.
Yeah, the movie is about to come out, and about Ronald Reagan, and who's playing Reagan?
Who?
Dennis Quaid.
What?
And they said he is freaking spot on playing Reagan.
Let me guess. The name of that movie's Reagan. Probably.
Look, that's why you need to be in Hollywood. You can come up with all the titles there, Pete.
That's an easy one.
Someone asked me, I might have mentioned this Monday, but no, I was in a meeting yesterday, in an apartment head meeting. And, one of our radio shows was talking about, they're about to come out with colorblind Uno cards, but they don't know how to make them yet. And I said, why don't they just write red and one or reverse on the card? And he went, oh, wow. I'm like, well, it doesn't take a damn genius to think that up.
Rez chat says Dennis Quaid is a QAnon guy. Is that true? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know if there's a QAnon. That's just all bullshit to me when someone says QAnon.
Well, yeah, it is bullshit.
I mean, Illuminatis and QAnons, and I don't know. It may be all true, and it may be all bullshit. But I'll say bullshit. I'm going to side of the bullshit.
I don't know. I think part of the Democratic Party has a form of QAnon nuts too. I don't know, like based on the Supreme Court ruling the other day. Now,
they went nuts, didn't they?
Trump's going to be a dictator, and he's going to lock up and kill all of his political opponents, and
they all freak out over Project 2025.
It's the most asinine thing I've ever heard, and I don't know. It's whatever party you are on, what side you're on. There's still some Democratic people, I think, that are not all this way off to the left, screaming and yelling and all this wokeness bullshit. I hope and pray, and I hope that on the Republican side, we ain't got all screaming and yelling people on that side either. Just common sense prevail, for God's sakes, in our policy, in our politics.
I know, right?
Michael Treese, Bush and Gore was not perfect, but nowhere near as bad as Biden-Trump or Biden-Trump too.
What did you read? You hear the story about the New York Times said that there was talk that that within a week Biden might step down?
That's another conspiracy theory.
This was from the New York Times, though. This was a headline from the New York Times today.
Saying what?
That there's talk of Biden stepping down within a week. How I said it, So, look, the Times was all in on Biden being sharp as a tack. He's got his stuff together, all of that. Now they are all in on, hey, he needs to go. He needs to get out of there.
Well, I know Biden's campaign manager put out a couple of days after the debate that all the talk of him dropping out of the race is completely unfounded.
Well, you know what? Things change in politics on a day-to-day basis. Yep. So you just never know. And you know what? Now the excuse is for his poor debate is that he said it. They said he said it himself.
Yeah, he said he had a cold.
Rallies, that he was falling asleep.
Said he had a cold.
Why the would you fall asleep?
But
on
not only did he have a cold,
the camera?
Well, he did.
But he was falling asleep because he had such bad jet lag from all the places he had been previously. Oh. He had 6 damn days to prepare for this at Camp David. He didn't get enough of now.
Pierce Morgan had this 18 or 19-year-old kid on that sat there for 20 minutes going on about how Biden actually won that debate.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Okay.
I thought that was kind of funny to listen to.
Oh yeah. I think anybody who I mean are just way off the damn charts in stupidity if they think Biden won that.
He had a whole panel of stupid because he had Cenk Uygur up there and he had Hassan Piker up there. So he had a panel of stupid going on.
Oh yeah, well, Cenk is the worst.
If he were to step down, they need to do it like now because they're running out of time.
Right. Well, he has to voluntarily step down. Then they will nominate a new candidate at the Democratic Convention, which is weeks away.
Well, and they're having to tiptoe that because some of the rumors have been that there is talk about that. And Kamala Harris is fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And they're talking, like, the two names that I've seen floated about the most is Gavin Newsom and, funnily enough, Hillary Clinton again.
Oh, my God. Well, if you look at polls, if you put Michelle Obama in there, she's up by 11 over Trump.
What? Michelle?
Now,
she says she ain't got no interest in it.
Until she debates Trump, and like me and Pete were having this conversation the other day, till the mud starts slinging at her.
Yeah. You know what makes sense, okay? And I heard Charlie Kirk say this. Jill Biden. You don't take Joe off the ballot. Jill Biden steps in and runs as president.
Oh man!
That already basically happened once.
Woodrow Wilson, his wife Wilson, after he had a debilitating stroke.
But right, But doesn't that, of all things, make more sense than all the other, Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom and Whitmer and all these others out there?
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. She's not very well liked either.
That makes less sense.
But Biden, see, is still the Biden name, and Biden's name is still, is still closest to anyone with Trump, other than all the other candidates they mentioned.
They probably wish they could run Obama for a third term.
Of course, they want to run Obama for a third term. Obama will want to run it for a third term.
Can't do that. Yeah.
And blame FDR for that one.
Yeah.
I don't think he's stepping down.
I don't think he will.
Well, he needs to.
I don't think there's enough going on upstairs for him to go, I need to drop out of this.
Yeah. But I heard Tucker Carlson. Now I'm bringing up all the right-wing names, and people going, he's a right-wing nut, isn't he? Yeah, I'm a right-wing nut. I'm also a man whore, but I'm not very good at it.
I'm not a Tucker Carlson fan.
Tucker said this stuff. Now, Tucker's a pretty damn good Washington insider. And he said in 2019, he talked to Biden's sister, who said that Biden had dementia in 2019. Yeah. And the man still ran for president.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
he
know.
was definitely more there during the debates in 2020 than he was now.
Oh, yeah.
But now, but you remember all the gaffes he had even during the campaign of 2020, and then all the gaffes.
There's a steep decline over the past 4 years.
Oh man, very steep, and just in this year alone, it's been a steep decline. All the falling.
And I've dealt with it with family members that had, Alzheimer's and stuff like that. Once that train gets rolling, it picks up steam and it starts to happen even faster.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, just a what if. Here's a big what if. What if he stays in? What if he is reelected? And what the hell happens then? Then all of a sudden he does step down, and then Kamala Harris is our president?
That's what would happen.
Jesus Christ.
I see that being far more likely. Keeping
him
in during the campaign.
At some point, they would invoke the 25th Amendment, which allows the vice president to take over if the president is not competent enough, and that's when you come up. How do you pronounce her first name? Kamala?
Emergency power.
But
I don't know if it's Kamala or Kamala, and I don't really care if I'm being.
I don't either.
Harris. We'll just call her Harris.
She's a 5-star dummy, if I ever saw one.
5-star dummy.
I just found it very ironic that basically she spent, 2 hours of a debate calling him a racist as many times as she could, and then accepted the vice presidency.
Of course.
She says some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. She's an attorney. Wasn't she the district attorney in San Francisco?
She was indeed.
She was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which here's the thing: if they put up Gavin Newsom, she can't be the VP. You can't have a president and the VP from the same state. They have to be from different states.
What? You can't? Where is that? Where is that at?
I learned that watching that same Piers Morgan interview I was talking about.
All right, but where is that written down?
I could not tell you. I've never heard it before.
Where is that? Where it says they can't be from the same state? I have never heard of that.
Well, I mean, name a president and a vice president that were representatives from the same state.
Well, I don't know.
Like I said, I haven't heard it from before.
Well, I don't know where all the presidents and vice presidents.
12th Amendment to the United States Constitution: the two people chosen by the elector cannot both inhabit the same state as that elector.
There you go. I mean, because Reagan was from California. He was the governor of California. And then H.W. was obviously from Texas.
Huh.
So
Learn something new every day.
So who can't be from the same state as the elector?
Vice president and president.
Okay, no, okay, okay, all right. And it says that in the Constitution.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody said the 11th Amendment.
There you go.
Oh, so it was an amendment that they. Oh, yeah.
How you doing? So originally, presidents didn't pick a vice president. It's just everybody ran for president, and whoever got the most votes became president. Whoever got the second most votes became vice president.
Right.
And that's what that rule. That's what that rule applies to. It has to do with rules within the Electoral College, but it's never been challenged since we did away with the old way of electing vice presidents. So most constitutional lawyers and stuff think that you can pick a vice president from your same state.
Yeah, it just hasn't been challenged yet. It hasn't been done yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird, it's kind of outdated because the president just handpicks his vice president now, whereas it used to just be the second most votes in each, became vice president. It was an elected position.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, it's kind of still.
That's like how the Senate didn't used to be an elected position until the 17th Amendment.
Now, strategically, I don't know how much sense it makes. Like usually, like one of the things you look for in a vice president is like, let's find a contested state and maybe pick a vice president from that state, maybe help us get more votes from that. Like the Republicans are going to win Florida no matter what. So like because the Mark Rubio thing is where this is coming up now too, because he lives in Florida and so does Trump. But like I wouldn't I'd pick somebody from some state that maybe you need help in.
Well, considering Georgia's been the swing state in both the last two I say last two, but I really mean Senate elections and last presidential election, I'd want if I was running and trying to unseat the candidate, I want the vice president to be coming from Georgia.
But who from Georgia?
Well, Trump hates all the Georgia state politicians. He wouldn't piss on them, but like maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene or something.
No.
Well, I mean,
like he hates the governor and the lieutenant governor, and he can't stand them.
Like you say
Brian
all the
Kemp
time,
and
though, there's 6 or 7 swing states. So I mean, you got 6 or 7 states to choose from.
Not Marjorie.
North Carolina, Ohio.
No.
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Michigan,
Pennsylvania.
Virginia.
I don't think Trump's that dumb, but
North Kakalaki.
Yeah, I don't think he'd pick Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think he'd probably want to pick a woman.
he's not that stupid.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is probably as dumb as picking AOC or Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Well, Kamala Harris worked out, but
well, we know why he picked Kamala Harris because she's black.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I read some reports that he's thinking about Tim Scott.
Yeah,
I've heard that too.
That would make sense.
Another, what's the congressman's name? Byron. He's another black guy. Byron something.
Byron
Y'all know
Dobbs. Byron Dobbs.
Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah.
From Florida.
Yeah, he's on the list too.
But he's out of Florida as well.
Oh,
I thought that dude Vivek Ramaswamy would have been a good idea.
I think Vivek's probably going to be a cabinet member for Trump.
Yeah.
He'll be in.
He's not
Christian,
VP. He'll definitely be a cabinet member.
If Trump wins, he'll be involved in his administration somehow. Yeah. I have no idea who he's going to pick as his running mate.
I don't think it matters really.
Yeah, probably not.
J.D. Vance keeps coming up, and J.D. Vance is from Ohio. That is a clean
I'll
state.
take any bet that it won't be Mike Pence again.
I think it matters more to the Republican Party as a whole because whoever he picks as vice president is likely to be the Republican nominee in 2028.
That's right. Yeah, I hear a lot about Ben Carson, but we heard that last time too. He didn't pick Ben Carson last time either.
But he had Ben Carson as a cabinet member.
I mean, Ben Carson is great at what he does. He does believe some silly things.
Well, what does he do?
I don't mind Ben Carson, but he's like the exact opposite of Trump personality-wise. He's
Yeah.
like quiet. You can barely hear him when he talks. He's very calm and relaxed.
Yeah,
I don't know what any of his policies are, but I like him as a person.
Yeah, he's a good
I
guy.
think he's a good
That's
guy.
what you want as a surgeon. You want a pretty relaxed and calm surgeon.
I'm about to say he's one of the best neurosurgeons in the world. So I mean, he's great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good doctor. Don't know if he's a good politician.
Well, if he picks Ben Carson, he's an evangelical, so he'd be going after that vote.
Yeah.
That's what it'd be
And
for.
what was he last time? Department of HHS?
Department of HUD. He was Department of HUD. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Would he go with Nikki Haley? Hell no. Trump was shit.
Oh yeah, he hates Nikki
Yeah.
Haley, and she hates him.
There's no way. I don't like her either.
I think he'd be smart to go to Nikki Haley though, and make amends and put her somewhere on his cabinet as well.
Y'all were talking about QAnon earlier. You know, they still think it's JFK Jr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
mean,
which of course,
RFK Jr.?
no, I mean JFK Jr. What died 30 years ago. They think he's not dead.
Is it a coincidence that he was running against Hillary in that race and then turned up dead?
Who? Oh, the
JFK.
Senate race. Yeah,
I'm just saying that's another body you can put on the Clinton body count. I mean, only so many of them can be a coincidence.
Yeah.
Clemson like the mafioso.
No, I have read that book by that, what was it, Secret Service agent, I think. Like, Hillary really is a bitch, if even half of what he wrote in that book was true.
Well, I hear Kamala's a straight-up bitch, too. I mean, just like, 28 of her people have quit or, because they can't stand working with her?
She has that RBF resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah.
She has that.
She's not very likable. No.
Yeah, like
She has that.
permanently a dog turd under her nose at all times.
Yeah, she always looks like somebody just pissed her off 2 minutes ago. Like right before she walked out to wherever she is, somebody just made her really mad.
Something tells me that's not a hard thing to do either.
Isn't she married to a white guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she's mad.
Might be. Because when they were at that Juneteenth celebration and Kirk Franklin was up there and singing gospel, her white husband he couldn't clap.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm white, and all my ex-wives were constantly pissed off too.
Does that mean that Don Lemon's soon-to-be ex-husband is going to be pissed off all the time too?
Oh, is he getting
divorced? Really?
I know that.
I didn't even know he had a
I
husband.
don't believe tabloids, but hey, sometimes they turn out to be true.
Well, that's news. I mean, that's news of who gives a shit.
Sometimes they turn out to be true, and sometimes they turn out to be propaganda paid for by Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Or propaganda
buddy
paid
Jeffrey
for by
Pecker.
Hillary Clinton.
I don't know. Donald Trump was the one in bed with the National Enquirer. Jeffrey
Spent
Pecker.
millions on a Russia investigation paid for by Hillary Clinton.
Who?
Me and you. They used millions
No.
of taxpayer dollars on that investigation based on the Steele dossier that she paid for.
Yeah, you might have misunderstood me. We were talking about the National Enquirer.
Yeah, isn't that the same one that tried to lead us into thinking that Obama and his wife are going to divorce after he got out of office? I want to say that's the same one.
I didn't even know the national.
Is that the same one that said Michelle used to be Mike?
Yeah.
That's Twitter, I think.
Michael Obama.
They're convinced Michelle Obama's a man.
Yeah. Well, everybody.
There's no pictures of her pregnant or
A lot of
whatever.
it is just people trying to stir up shit.
I mean, I'll give it this much credit. I've been fooled by some Instagram pictures.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, just like shit I've seen, like people have shown me. I wouldn't have guessed that was a dude. But I think Michelle Obama's a little too old for doctors to have been that good back in the day.
Well, no, they think that she's always been a dude.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
That
She's a
seems
modern
kinda
woman.
silly to me.
She's a modern woman. You know, the one with cock and balls.
I mean, you know what? If it turns out to be true, damn. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna believe that. Big dang, if that turns out to be true.
Big dang.
I never saw Hillary Clinton pregnant either, so.
That's definitely a woman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like Lou said, because there was no pictures of her pregnant. Well, I've never seen a picture of Hillary pregnant either.
Yeah.
But I'm still fairly certain that Hillary's a woman.
So you have to see pictures of a woman pregnant to be certain that she's a woman?
Well, that's the example Lou gave, so that's what I'm running with at the moment.
What's next? You have to see the man having something with that woman to know he's the baby daddy?
Well, no, you can do a DNA test there and figure that out real quick.
Who used to do the DNA test? Maury Povich, right?
You are not the father.
So are we saying we should take Michelle Obama to Maury Povich and get a DNA test?
Yeah, Maury Povich, yeah. Take her there.
That would get good ratings.
Alive?
You are not a woman.
Is he still alive? Is that show even still on?
I don't think so.
I don't think the show's still on. I don't know if Maury's still alive or not. That's a good question.
Fuck, he's got to be.
You said Michelle Obama is a man. Our lie detector determined that was a lie.
If he's alive, he's got to be 90-something years old.
Didn't he used to be a politician, or was that Jerry Springer?
That was Jerry
Jerry
Springer.
Springer. Jerry Springer was mayor of Cleveland.
That's right.
Okay. I had
right.
right state. I thought it was Cincinnati.
Yeah, Maury's still alive. He's 85.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Jerry Springer, by the way.
Maury Povich show ended 2 years ago, so it was it aired all the way through 2022.
Yeah. Wow.
I did not know that.
He also gave Jerry Springer a show where he acted as a judge.
I remember that. I briefly remember that.
It was called Judge Jerry.
Yeah.
What?
Judge Jerry.
Kind of like Judge Judy, yeah.
I'm old enough to remember
Judge Judy.
When Judge Joe Brown was still actually a judge in Memphis.
I like watching Judge Joe Brown. That was a good show.
My favorite of them is Judge Mathis.
See, I always thought those shows were fake, and then I found out that Judge Joe Brown actually was a judge, and I was like, well.
Yeah, they're real judges.
I thought Mathis's story was fake until I actually found out he was arrested several times as a teen, but then turned his life around.
Oh, Judge Judy don't play.
No.
Judge Judy was a bitch, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yep.
She didn't have no time for nobody's bullshit.
She was raking in the cash. She was making like
such a B word when I was younger, but then I got older and was like, she was right.
She was making like $60 million a year off that show.
Making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just like I used to think Red Foreman was annoying until I kind of sympathized with Red Foreman.
Yeah, that's the original one, the People's Court. Judge Wapner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took no guff either.
Dun, 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 dun.
Y'all know what a good show was back in the 80s and early 90s, and maybe in the early 90s. You remember the show Night Court?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, they brought it.
No, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
I've
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, they made a sequel series to it where the judge's daughter takes over.
It wasn't real Slim. It was a sitcom, but it was funny. It was about the 24-hour night court, and I guess it was in New York, right?
Yeah.
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 I think they do that in most major cities because they have court in the middle of the night in Memphis.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I was busy in the early.
It was
90s,
funny.
I was busy watching Power Rangers and shit.
I'm sure you could probably find Night Court on like fucking TV Land or one of those, just something that shows the old TV shows.
There's a station called Laugh, Laff, that carries it.
Now let me jump up and still Go ahead, Slim.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say,
You were talking about TV land. I watch reruns of Gilligan's Island and MASH whenever they're on. I love those shows.
Yeah, those are good too.
I watched Axe TV yesterday, and they had on the Monkees. I had not seen a show of the Monkees since I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And it was, and I thought of it then, and I thought of it yesterday. That was a really stupid show.
That's even too old for me.
Family.
That's even too old. I never saw the Monkees show.
Oh.
Well, it was a dumb show. Was it produced by Don Kirshner? I even heard that Frank Zappa had something to do with even the thought and the idea of coming up with the Monkees.
That was about the band?
Yeah.
Okay. I only know one song by them. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. That song.
Daydream Believer, and
Yeah.
And then I'm a Believer. All that.
Wake up and then wake up, Sleepy Jean. Right.
No, well, I was wrong. They said a guy named Bob Raffleson developed the initial idea for the Monkees in 1962.
Did the Monkees do House of the Rising Sun?
No, that's the Animals. That's the Animals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see how you confuse the Monkees and the Animals there.
I mean, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
Not really. Good Lord, Eric Burton and the Animals, they were badass, man. That was a good band.
Shit's long before my day. Long.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I mean, there's great songs by the Animals down in Monterey, all that. I mean, yeah, they were really good British rock band.
I wasn't in favor of the first, second, or third British invasion.
The IFC channel has
brought us the Beatles, the Stones, and then everyone else followed suit. So.
You want a hot take, and I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disparaging them whatsoever. But some of my favorite songs written by Beatles members were all after they broke up.
Well, yeah,
I'm with you there. You know what? A lot of I am, and I'm not a Beatles fan. I think that to be a true Beatles fan, you got to say, you got to be all in and say, the music is timeless. The music is not timeless. It sounds dated to me. A lot of the Beatles music sounds very dated to me. So that's why I'm not a true Beatles fan.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Vic comes up with a Big Lebowski, man. That's good, Vic. Bravo, Vic. That's very good, Vic.
Once they got into drugs, their music got better.
Of course it did.
How that happens. Why do you think everybody loved Nirvana?
My favorite Beatles song is "Don't Let Me Down," and that's just way out there and one of the last of their discography in the 70s.
I thought that was Electric Light Orchestra.
No, "Don't Bring Me Down" is the ELO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
"Don't Bring Me Down." Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Beatles fan either, but then again, I'm not old enough to be, I don't think. That's one of those things you had to be there at that time to really appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Yeah. Certainly.
It's kind of like,
I mean, the times of the 60s and 70s, as far as music goes, it was phenomenal.
And you can't get any of them to go away. The fucking Stones are still on tour. Fucking give it 5 minutes, and the Beatles. The Eagles will have another reunion tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the Eagles sell out, and the Stones sell out every single place they go.
I was about to say, if the Stones came to Charleston, I'd probably go just to say that I saw the Stones live. That's the only reason I'd go.
I will tell you the reason why, though. Now, I've had this argument with a number of people, and I'm a music snob. I'll admit it. But you look at music in the 20th century versus music of the 21st century, and the music of the 21st century is not even freaking close to the music of the 20th century.
Oh, shut up, Boomer.
Not a part of the 20th century.
Shut up, Boomer.
Tell me again, Vic.
But
Tell me again, Vic.
You know what, though? He's kind of got a point. Like, even rap music was better back in the 80s and 90s than it is today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the music is country music, such a throwaway, discard of music. I mean, they just want to make a hit. And,
well, country music is pop music. It's pop music.
Yeah, it's pop now.
It is pop.
Most of it is.
And some of it, I mean, look, there's some artists that are really good, and but in the pop music genre, geez, I mean, Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo, I'm just like, wow.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're talking about country, give me some Alan Jackson or Randy Travis any day.
Oh, absolutely, those are great artists. Merle, Willie, Waylon. All those guys.
Well, but those are the guys I grew up with.
Yeah. Well, see, I programmed country for a moment in the 90s, but country at that given time was actually pretty damn good, because you did have Alan Jackson doing Gone Country. Tim McGraw was just coming up. George Strait was still big. Garth Brooks was just, forming in his own. And so country was pretty damn fantastic back then. And it was still country. It wasn't that pop twang that it is now these days.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them don't even have bands anymore. It's all rap beats.
Yeah. It's all auto-tuned. Country and pop. They're all auto-tuned.
I don't know about all of them, but
ruins to me any kind of person who may be a vocalist and a singer, because there was no auto-tune in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Now, I mean, all these guys and girls were singing their voice.
Yeah.
Not some damn auto-tune shit.
Yep.
So there's my humble opinion, and happy 4th of July.
Yes.
Even when it comes to your point, like something more like rock and roll, as far as like even guitar players, who's your Jimi Hendrix or your Carlos Santana these days?
There's not one.
No.
I will say this, and it's going to be surprising. I'm going to say this. John Mayer is a hell of a
Oh, yeah. He's probably the closest to he's probably the best guitar player of the new generation.
Yeah, he's an exceptional guitarist. So and okay, on the country side, another exceptional guitarist is Keith Urban. Keith Urban is also a damn good guitarist.
Yep.
And you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't know that.
Nope.
I'm about to say that'd be news to me.
Yeah, but he is. He's a look. Keith Urban was going. He decided he had a decision to make. Either go the rock and pop side or go the countryside. And he went the countryside.
I worked with a guy for like 2 years. I swear, he was one of the managers at a job I worked at. He'd have won a damn Kenny Chesney lookalike contest, I swear.
Well, gentlemen, I have to shut the show down. It's after 1. I got to run.
Absolutely, Pete.
All right.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
All right. See you later.
Yeah, man.
Vic and Slim, thanks for coming on. Toodles. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for me as well. Have a safe 4th of July tomorrow. And have a good 4th of July as well. And also have a good rest of your Wednesday. Talk to y'all later.